Before we get started, I think I need to make myself clear. I absolutely love romance, both in real life and in the media. Romance, even if not done that well, will always hit a high note with me. For me personally, this is one of the main features that keeps me watching anime as I leave my teenage years behind me and gradually move away from some of the more action-based shonen type anime to more plot-driven narratives. Today I'd like to discuss a rare cookie, or rather a box of cookies, each in the shape of hearts being handed to you by your waifu. I'm of course talking about the anime Golden Time. You may be asking yourself, what sets Golden Time apart from other romance stories in anime? And if I'm honest, there isn't a whole lot. I mean, sure, it doesn't follow the normal love triangle formula, and it definitely doesn't come across as a harem. But what we are presented with is a close to life representation of what might happen if someone was put into these sorts of situations. Obviously the show has its flaws, and we will get to those later in the video. First, we are introduced to Taddy Banri, and on the outside he seems like a normal, kind, caring guy who's just enrolled into university, and does all the normal crap like joining clubs, making friends, blah blah blah. But as the story progresses, we find out that he was in an accident a few years prior, which left him with amnesia. Banri is forced to pretty much start again with losing all his memories, such as his high school love and his hobbies, and even forgetting most of his relationships with his parents. Now Banri keeps all this to himself throughout the show, which eventually causes problems for him. Before I move on to the next key character, I'd like to point out how much I love this individual, and if they gave awards for the best girl of 2014 winter anime, she would take the title, slap her competition in the tits, make your dad cry, and still have you begging to call you a worthless piece of shit. Obviously this award doesn't count Yu-chan, lol, she has no tits. The show introduces Kakakoko in such a way that you get exactly what this character is about in the first 2 seconds. Coco comes from a rich family and only came to university so she could stalk her childhood friend Mitsuo. This is where things get interesting. Banri and Mitsuo are friends by this point, and Coco starts pestering Banri for the location of her victim and what he's going to do, etc, etc. Until we discover that Mitsuo is crushing on some other girl, God knows why, who then rejects him publicly, which then comes up to bite her in the ass, but let's not get into that. It is at this point Banri decides to be a man and asks Coco out, and to be honest, I didn't really see it coming. I mean, I did, but just the way that it was done was entertaining to watch. Confessions in anime always follow a similar model, and will most likely end with the guy or girl saying that they like the other person, then they kiss and the series is over. But this time they decide to have the confession a couple of episodes in, and instead of Banri getting a direct answer, she just says that she will think about it. Now where does this sound familiar? I'm assuming most guys watching this video know this line all too well, and which comes back to my other point, that this series depicts something grounded in reality, and yeah, the characters fuck up and ruin their social lives and decide one day to dye their hair so they can pass up as a gay guy with no problem. Yeah, maybe one might crash a car and almost kill their friends by falling asleep at the wheel, and yeah, maybe world of adolescence, youth, and who doesn't wish that their first time having sex was in Paris, whatever. Obviously this show follows the characters through university, which is a nice change from the high school setting, and as a 20-year-old struggling through the education system, I can personally relate to a lot of the stuff that these guys are going through. If someone asked me to point out one flaw with the series though, I would have no problem mentioning the annoying subplot with Banri's old ghost subconscious shit. There was not one point that I understood what the fuck was going on with that ghost thing. And if I could skip over the stuff, maybe the show would have been a slight bit better. I get that Banri is scared to lose the memories of the people that he's grown close to, but they could have done that in a better way. Like maybe his amnesia is still cropping up today and causing him problems. Yeah, keep all the messed up fits as a way of saying, yeah, he does have a problem retaining memory, and all the drama that follows will be justified. Not add some weird supernatural stuff like his ghost is still in love with the other girl and pissed at his watching himself falling in love with another person, eventually causing his subconscious to commit suicide, but later come back for the finale to add a bit more shit because he was feeling left out. I mean, sure, I loved the finale. I can't wait to rewatch the series again just to get the feels out. but it would have made more impact if Banri regained all his memories of Coco by purely her love and kindness towards him, and not the spirit thing being like, fuck it man, here you go. The opening and ending songs were okay. The first opening was shit and I can't stand to listen to it, but the second was better, making the mood feel a little less childlike and weird, and yeah. And the music in the anime itself was nothing major, just it was okay. I mean, I don't really have any comment on it. Animation quality was clean as well, with all the art style being somewhat standard anime for this day and age. Again, nothing really to really write home about, but nothing really completely shit. But that being said, I don't often complain about the animation unless it's added 3D CG shit that makes my eyes vomit. All in all, Kaga Coco Time has a soft spot for me, a special place in my heart worthy only for the cutest anime such as the K-ons! And FLCLs, maybe a sake drop if I'm feeling slightly broody again. I would like to point out that normally when I end a series, I might shed a tear, or be like, yeah, it was alright. But Golden Time still sits in my memories maybe 2 weeks after actually watching the finale, and that doesn't happen very often. I mean, I once tried to describe to a friend what happened at the end of Attack on Titan, and all I could conjure up was some shit with some big lady went down and they cried, there was a big battle in the woods for a long time. And if you are like me and watch a lot of anime, you will know how hard it is to keep track of even some of the good anime. Which is why I would recommend this anime to anyone who is a lover of drama, romance. I would also like to recommend 2 such animes, Sakura Trick and Nisekoi, which also aired at the same time. Thank you for watching, please like, comment, subscribe, as it makes me feel happy inside.